Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on ChessCube and I'm going to kibitz another game from this list right here. This is the only 5-minute game going on. Okay, what do we have going on? White to move and their bishops are in trouble. Okay, so, or maybe not. Very good rook lift right there. And in fact, black is needing to get that piece back and I don't. Queen takes bishop. Okay, queen takes bishop. And avoiding the queen exchange, that is going to be the thing to do if you are the side that has a safer king. So rook right here, and then there's going to be a discovered check. Get that king over right away. However, bishop to e7 is going to allow that rook to crash through on the f7 point. So maybe was there something better than just the king move initially? Bishop e7, but no. We should just have maybe f6, and then is black going to be able to defend? I thought just a timely bishop e7 and then white just crashes through. And in fact, that bishop could pull all the way back to that a3 square, and there's no contesting this f-file. But now it's going to be that much more difficult. However, something like g4 would have actually led to mate if pawn were to have taken. Because there's not a flight square. This queen is not allowing that king to take flight to that square. So where is going to be the progress? If black is able to do what? If black is able to get this knight somehow on this square, then it's going to be trouble, I believe. Okay, so knight, bishop back here. You could have actually this pawn getting pushed, and then this bishop would turn out to be trapped. Am I missing anything? This is going to be a forceful move. Rook g3 and queen h4 would also have been a forceful move. That's a threatening move. Queen h4, looking for queen h8, but we're not seeing that. And now the knight is hitting the bishop. Where does it go? It has to go back to this a3 square. And this knight is going to end up pivoting on this d3 point or even g4. So the tables are clearly turning right here. A missed opportunity, I believe, again for that earlier bishop e7 move. And now this knight is going to sink into that e5 square. And there's going to be a lot of problems, I believe. Knight d3, knight to g4 I could see as a possibility. Ideally, I think the knight getting to e4 would be best. And so why is black not running with that? Is there simply not a need to move forward with the knight move? Is black looking to move the queen and then pivot the knight on f6 to e4? Not quite sure. And okay, so now here we go. What this is coming down to is this knight is going to be better placed than this bishop. Is it really going to be an inconvenience for black to not be able to make use of this f8 square? Because that's pretty much the only thing I believe that this bishop is doing to maybe mess up the black coordination. And there's not really a way. I guess the queen is looking to get to that h5 square, but that's absolutely shut down at this point. Rook takes knight is a threat, so the queen just has to get off of this same file as the rook. Where is going to be a good square, and well, that seems good enough. Looking for a mate on h2. The rook has to pull back to that h3 square, otherwise h3 drops the rook. And now I guess just queen to g5, or should it just go all the way back? I think if queen g5, rook g3, looking for h3 again. However, rook h3, I think h3 could be met with just queen to h4. And now this bishop is looking to get back into play. I think this is a good opportunity for that. You know, that bishop was not doing a whole lot on the a3 square. It's going to try to function on f4, but no, it's shut down. As a direct result of e5, we have d5 as a weakness, and white pinpoints that right away. This knight cannot move so easily. It would drop this pawn. This rook hitting the bishop, and now works itself into a pin. We have a couple pins going on along this diagonal, and at this point, but no, a very, very deadly fork right here. That's going to be it. This pin right here is a bigger inconvenience to white than anything. And actually mate. I totally missed that it was a mate. Or no, actually the queen was watching over g2, but hopefully they play one more. Okay, very good. They're playing one more, and that knight was doing a ton on that e3 square. White ended up falling for mate there. But okay, what do we have going on with this? Okay, this move has to be played. Or basically you have to challenge these three pawns in some way, and black is going with e5. These guys seem to have been playing for some time. It's just showing 1-0, but it seems as though they've played many games before with how fast they're playing. But What do we have here? This is certainly going to be a focal point. A5 was played to secure this knight's position so that black doesn't have to contend with b4. E4, you could see rook to e1. Okay, this is watched over enough. F5 is keeping a close eye on this square, and this bishop is looking to just reposition itself. And where is going to be the progress? In the meantime, the other rook to the e file, or maybe not so much. Is f3 needed right here? I think that's a very awkward move to have to play. This pawn is now hit 1, 2, 4, hit 4 times. In that, something has clearly gone wrong. If you're seeing that particular move played, I don't know about it. G3 is weakened. Is there a way that this square can now be targeted? That's where my attention is being placed right now. As soon as a pawn presses forward, what squares are being weakened? It's clearly defending e4, but what is it now not doing? That's the other question I'm often asking myself. So bishop to f2, and then that would allow rook to e1, and then some expansion with f4 maybe. If queen to g5, I think h5, and the queen has to find a different home. So it still is, I guess, pretty coordinated on the white end. It seemed awkward to have to do that. I believe rook to e1, get the other rook involved. It's not doing anything on this square. And, well, white has to be a bit careful because the bishop does have pressure on this knight. You don't want to get in a situation where this bishop becomes overloaded, having to watch over the knight and pawn, but fortunately that rook is there to watch over d4. I believe to make further progress, something like f4 would be good. Looking for f4, e5, and black is offering a trade right now, and in fact getting ready to win material. Capturing a couple times on this square, and then g3 would fall, so I believe we're going to be needing to see knight takes knight, or does the knight pull back? Now, certainly black, whoa, a very, very serious move right there. If pawn takes, e takes, and then exploiting this pin, okay, things are changing in a great way right here, and I think that white is going to be the side that benefits as a result of this. One reason for this is that the knight is going to be very deadly on this b5 square, targeting d6. In fact, d6 is going to be hit not only by the knight, but also by the rook. This position is opening up at a moment also where white is simply the better developed side, right? They don't have, well, they have all their pieces contributing in some way, whereas we have this clown in the corner, and this bishop still doesn't know what it's doing just yet. So white has a lead in development, having to work out of this pin. We're going to have material restored, but I think that's going to be short-lived. Knight b5, focusing on d6, and that's going to fall in a blink. I don't see really a good way to defend against that. And this knight, if it can't smash through at g3, what is it really doing on the edge right there? I'm not quite sure. And in the meantime, why is black expending so much time at this point? What do you have to do? Queen f6? Queen f6, just get out of the pin right away? Or is there bishop takes knight? Is that what's being calculated right there? Oh. Very interesting. Oh, well, actually, oh my goodness, white is actually winning, or black is winning a piece in that variation. If bishop takes knight, I was going on and on about how white is just better for all of these reasons, and after the smoke has cleared, what do we have? Black is simply up a minor piece, so I was clearly going in the wrong direction there. Okay, g4, I guess. I guess this is still a bit tricky. There has been a lot of time spent. Has about a minute to catch up. This is a weak point, and now we have the trade of queens. Are we going to have bishop takes b7? This is just going to be better for... Well, I don't even know what to think at this point. Okay, actually, bishop c6 and then b5. Get it to that b5 square, and this knight and bishop aren't doing anything just yet. Is something like h5. Okay. h5 is allowing this knight to make use of that f5 square. To be honest, I'm still a bit upset with my poor thinking back there. I didn't even see that combination with just bishop takes knight. But it happens. Is something like f4 and then g5 just trying to not allow this knight to get active a possibility? There we go. f5, pawn takes g5, and then I think just f4, and that knight will not be denied the f5 square. Okay, so just trying to not allow... I think the main thing that Black was thinking was not allow the knight to get to f5, because if it gets there, it pivots on d4, and these rooks are going to have a really, really bad time trying to get active. And I really do not know what to suggest for white at this point. This bishop, unfortunately, cannot move because that b3 pawn would fall, and now black should just be looking for exchanges. Right now, this is going to be a pivot square, and we're going to have rook g3 coming up, I think, right now. Yeah, and this is going to be pawn takes, and next up, I believe, just get the rook here and look to push, or maybe even something like bishop to c8 might even be a good move, just to allow that bishop to control this g2 square. But I guess the knight could do that at some point. Right now, bishop to g4, bishop g4, and then even bishop to c3. King takes and then pawn pushes, and it cannot be stopped. So this is going to be a difficult road ahead right now. And bishop g4, we're going to have game over right now. Resignation coming up. It's not enough of a time disadvantage. We're going to have white resigning any second. Is that going to be it? Yes. Okay. Well, I am going to stop right there. These guys are still going to be going at it, but I'm going to stop right there. And that's pretty much it. So, as always, I hope you got something out of this video. Take care. Bye.